came in the Q&A portion. So at socialist conferences, they do it a little bit differently. There's a panel of people. They're about each session at the socialism conference is about 90 minutes long. And for the first 45 minutes, there's a panel of people where they do the presentation, right? They read a paper or whatever. The second half of the presentation is to hear from the audience. And it's not like a Q&A. They're not necessarily going up and asking the panelists questions. Anyone in the audience can come up to the microphone and make a statement for 2 to 3 minutes. They can talk about whatever they want. They can share what they're doing. They can share their perspective. It's like they're trying to integrate the panelists and the audience into having a more robust discussion. And it's actually kind of a nice way to do it. I'm going to be honest. I kind of came around to it towards the end. I was like, you know what? This actually makes sense. You learn much more. You end up hearing from more people. You hear different perspectives and stuff like that. That was actually how I got so let me just talk about this for a second. So for those who don't know, the biggest clip that I got, well, I won't say biggest, the most high profile clip that I got at this conference, I released yesterday. It was from the Marxist president of the American Library Association, and it was her explicitly saying that libraries and public schools need to be sites of socialist organizing. Let me pop the link in the chat if you haven't not seen it yet. Here you go, Rumble. So how I got this clip, Emily was not presenting at this conference. She was originally supposed to present at this conference, but then there was a big media firestorm about it, and they quietly canceled her presentation. I wasn't even sure that Emily was going to be at the conference. When I got this clip, I was sitting in on a session about education. And there were 2 people presenting, a black guy and an Asian guy. You're going to hear a lot of clips from them in the coming days. But Emily was sitting in the audience. Emily, the only thing that Emily said was during the Q&A portion or the discussion portion, when she, along with every other audience member, went up to the microphone and got to say what she wanted to say. And that's when that happened. It was a complete and total accident that I got this clip. And I'll tell you what, I was literally sitting right next to the microphone, but I wasn't really paying attention to who was standing at it. And like when Emily started speaking, I recognized her voice immediately. And I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then when she said that libraries need to be a site of socialist organizing, I got to tell you guys, it was everything in my power to do not to react. Because like in my head, I'm going, oh. And I'm like, this was the first session that I actually used my recording device on, and I wasn't sure it was going to work. And in my head, I'm like, please record, please be recording, please work, please God, let this recording work. I will never ask for anything again. And I was having a whole conversation with God all the way back to my hotel room to check the recording. I was like, because I was like, no one is ever going to believe me that I literally heard the head of the American Library Association say that libraries must be a site of socialist organizing. I was praying. I like basically ran back to my hotel room, and I checked it, and I was like, "Oh my God, thank God!" So that was how I got that clip. Was during the discussion Q&A portion. Now,
this comrade will be followed by the comrade in the green, followed by the comrade here.
Hi, I'm Emily, and I'm a librarian. I just wanted to say thank you so much. I just want to say thank you for bringing up libraries and classroom libraries, but also school libraries of all kinds, public libraries and higher education libraries who've been under attack in similar ways. But I think your point that public education needs to be a site of socialist organizing, I think libraries really do too. And that hasn't, I haven't seen that for the people that are working in libraries, but I think there's real opportunity here to both connect what's happening in public education, what's happening in libraries, but also we need some help in the libraries, and we need to be on the agenda of socialist organizing. So I just want to get up and say that. So thank you.
Yeah. I just want to thank you for your work and for your stick your neck out and then fight at a difficult time. It's an inspiration to me.
community.